What's up, guys? Yet another cool build to show off. This one will also be available tonight in the Waffle event. The Kraken that I had currently was sold directly, so I needed something to put in there. So I thought, let's just go full cerakote and put a fancy one out there. So, not that the other ones aren't fancy, but you know, cerakote style fancy. So, back this up. This is full cerakote. Well, I say full cerakote, but it's not full cerakote. Normally, when I say that, it has a band that's fully cerakoted too. So the whole thing is. Costs about the same to just go leather instead. But we've got a custom lasered brass dial, and if you get it just right in the light, you can see you've got blues, you've got purples in here, you've got some reds that go through here, you've got some orange in here. But straight on, it looks fairly, you can see it has brush strokes going up. And then the pips are lasered out and backside lumed. So your lume is on the backside, kind of down in the holes. So that was the dial. I thought that dial was awesome. And it took me a little bit, but I was able to match a leather. If you laid this on top of this, you'd see these are like almost the same exact color. So I did an antique bronze 110 case. Sometimes I think of these as kind of like the Batman case, because they have like the vintage style pointy ear and then straight across, Batman style. But this is a 110 case, has crown guards on the side. Antique bronze case. This is actually Rao brown, cerakoted, which goes with the strap. But yeah, it's technically called Rao brown, so you can tell if you look that it isn't quite the same. This is an antique brass cerakoted bezel. So, you know, so it stands out just a little bit. I put an antique bronze one on there, and it just blended too much. It wasn't the right look I was going for. So I tried to do something that color matched from here to here, to just so that it would kind of blend, but the blend didn't blend the way I wanted it to. Took out some gold hands, used some brass ager on them, and another chemical, I can't think of what it's called, to get some aging on them so that you can see that they're not shiny. They're more of distressed kind of looking. And new kind of second hand for us. Milled caseback, signed rotor inside there, and then I didn't actually have a cerakoted tension ring. A lot of times we don't do that because it's threaded ring, so when you're putting that in there, it just makes it tougher to actually use. So I used a stainless steel one and put it essentially in a form of acid that really darkens it up. So, and then polished it so it has a like distressed dark gray look to it, which looks a lot better than a popped out silver caseback ring. So that's that. And then this is on a super, super, super waxy leather, comfy strap from Jonathan Gillespie over at Wristbound. And then we took a brass buckle, distressed it, and then lasered off of it. So get the little Kraken on the side, a little BVW there. So this is your fancy antique bronze cerakoted Kraken build. Bezel on it will turn left, it'll turn right. It is on there tight, and the cerakote does not let it move very well, so it should just sit where you put it. It's not right up on the edge, so you shouldn't bump it. You physically have to grab it and move it, and you have to grip it tight, because I was able to get the tension ring inside there super tight, plus the cerakote rubbing against each other gives it some friction where it does not want to move. So it should sit on there fairly tight. So whenever I'm lining them up, I like to, for me, I was boxing this 3 on that. So I know obviously you can look at the top, look at the bottom, but sometimes you can't quite tell where things are. You know, like, oh, is it the middle of the 3 there? Or is it the middle of the 3 there? You know, oh, middle of the circle, oh, you can kind of figure that out. But, you know, sometimes it throws you off. So that was the way I was lining up, but it doesn't really move. So it's on there. It should just stay like that. That said, it's an automatic mechanical, so you've got an automatic movement in here. You can wind it, wear it, put it in a watch winder. But if it's dead or you're not going to be very active, you want to make sure you wind it up just a little bit because you're not engaging that rotor. So what you'll do is you'll back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. At that point, you can wind. And a wind is a turn that way. Turning it towards you doesn't do anything, but it's a lot easier to keep your finger spacing and just go back and forth. If you notice, whenever I went back that first time, I actually was starting to thread it, and that's why it kind of stopped on me. So if you feel you get that hit, you can just kind of slightly pull back to make sure that you're not hitting that crown tube, and you can wind it up. So do this for 4 or 5 seconds before you put it on. We'll keep time throughout the day. And if you do this for something closer to 15 seconds, you're going to max out that 31-hour power reserve on it. You cannot overwind it, so don't worry about that. When you're happy with your winding, you're going to pull it to the 1 and only click. You can then set your time. You'll notice it does not have a hacking movement, so it's just going to keep going on you. You'll also notice you've got a wobble crown. This deflects lateral pressure from going into the stem and into the movement, so when you're pushing and prying on it, you're not putting any adverse pressures on anything. And the way that clutch system works is it will not accept impact into the crown once it's screwed in. So you can go from winding it to setting the time, but not setting the time to winding it. You have to re-engage the clutch by screwing it all the way down. That's why you can go from one to the other, but not from the other back. So you'll wind first, then set the time. Okay, Google, what time is it? 12:22 p.m. I didn't look before. You just put it over, get it out of that time setting, and then wind it down. And that is the watch. This leather is so awesome. Very thick, very waxy, very pliable. Will come with matching beads. Wife is always able to knock something out for us here. Got some brasses and some bronzes in there. This will come in a brown special edition dial matching Kraken box. So it'll come with watch foamer. This is my new cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal parts, so everything here in the center. Non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue, along with a wrapped microfiber. Also get some leather conditioner. This is to keep that strap perfectly soft. You'd apply it on the front and back. Remove any excess. A little bit will go a long way. Man. And that's only if you ever feel that the strap is not as soft as it should be. I would use something like a rag or something like that. Don't use one of your microfibers. You don't want to put something on there that could get hard, that then you could, you know, start scratching into your cerakote or something like that. And then lastly, you're going to get some fine scratch remover. This is Novus 2 from Amazon, just repackaged. It's like a poly watch. It's for your acrylic glass because you can scratch it, but if you do, no big deal. Put a tiny bit of this on it and buff it using your included and collar matched microfiber. So if the scratch is up and down, go left and right, fill in the scratch, haze it, buff it out, and that will take care of you. If you scratch your cerakote, it's just like your car. Did you scratch it down to the silver metal? Then you need it repainted or recerakoted, which let's not try and do that. Stripping this whole thing down and sending it off is to repair that is not cheap. That's literally the whole cost of me building a whole watch. I got to pop the glass out. Can't reuse the glass. Got to pop the bezel off, strip everything down, and send it off. So don't do anything to this that you wouldn't do to your car. So don't rub it on walls. If you do, you can bump things. Gun oil should blend in any kind of blemishes that you do to it that you're not taking all the way down. So, but that's it. that's the build, and if it's going to you, congrats. I appreciate your support, and I hope you love it. This should be Kraken build number 227, and I think build 1053 overall. 1052 sitting over there, if I recall my numbers right now. So 1053, and appreciate your time. If you want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe, as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.